Well, let's go into the happily ever after and our chances of having that outcome. So you're getting married. I mean, there are so many stories and so many movies talking about prenup, especially when they are two parties that one is well off, the other one is not quite well off. How do you find a balance for both parties that one is not screwed over the other? And how do you start? I mean, let's say that the lady is less fortunate, less wealthy, and how can she spin this agreement into something positive rather than looking for negative?
Well, it's a question of being able to talk with each other. Talking about money is very difficult, I think, for most people, and I think most young people have not had the experience in their families of being frank and involved in financial planning and discussions. So, first of all, you need to perhaps learn or get some advice on how to conduct difficult conversations. There are people who can give you instruction in that. Yeah, there's opendoorcommunication.org that features instruction in difficult conversations. Then there's several. The Magic of Conflict is another one. So I'm sure you can find on Google. And so it's a question of getting comfortable with a frank discussion. So then the two of you would want to talk about, how do you see your financial future? I think that it's protection of assets is maybe only one purpose of a premarital agreement. For example, let me say one couple, I did a premarital agreement for, mediated. Wife-to-be was living with her parents, and she was paying the mortgage as rent to live there. And the couple intended to both live there. But once they got married, her earnings would be community property by default if they had no other agreement. And therefore, community property, paying the mortgage on the house, would give a community interest in her parents' house to this married couple. Well, they both agreed they didn't want that. Husband had no problem with that. So they did a written agreement that they kept their earnings separate property. And so they keep them in separate bank accounts. And then any payments made, they agreed, would not result in community property. The payments would remain her separate property. She was the heir of her parents anyway, so that was fine with them. In any case, therefore changed California law to assure that her parents' house did not become community property of